All right, our video froze, so let's go ahead and look again. So we still need to make a change, but last time we took the center and the radius, and we actually squared the radius, and we ended up with these numbers, and we ended up with 4. However, if we're going from this and going backward from what we did before, we are going to again do the same thing. We're going to change the numbers. And this time, instead of, the number squared, we're going to square root it to get the radius versus take the radius, square it, and get the number. So the inverse of square root is r squared, or r squared, the inverse of that, or opposite, is square root. So let's make the change. So we have minus 1. So we're going to make it positive 1, right? This time it's going to have the positive, so we need to make it negative. So you notice the difference this time, since we have to have the minus and plus, this time we're going to have to scratch off the plus and make it a minus. Before, we just have a number, and all numbers are positive unless they say they are negative. So we have positive 1 and negative 3. Now with the calculator, we need to do the square root this time. So go ahead and take your Desmos calculator. If you have the yellow calculator, then you want to hit the number, so it would be 4, and then you hit the x to the second power, the x with the 2 in the corner. So this here, we have a Desmos, so instead of x to the second, it's a to the second. So let's go ahead and find out what the square root of 4 is on the change. So we're going to go 4, and actually it's not, my bad. So when we're doing square root, we're going to take the 4, but then you need, on the yellow calculator, you need to hit the blue button that says second. Then you hit the a to the second power. If you have Desmos, you're going to hit the 4. And then see this right here? There's your square root. Oh, my bad. Gosh, I went backwards. Duh. All right, so square root 4. So I believe probably on the yellow, you're going to hit second, x to the second, and then 4, and then enter. Okay, so it's 2. So we're going to have the square root of 4 equals 2. So we've made our change here. We've made our change here, and we've made our change here. That does not change much from the first time around. The making these changes are pretty much the same situation. This one is a little different. Instead of r squared, we're going to do square root of the number. So here we go. Change, change, and the change is made. Now we're going to take this information and we're going to bring it down here. So we have plus 1 after the change. So remember, plus 1, all numbers are positive. So you can actually, plus 1 can be 1. But if that's hard to remember, you can put plus 1 if you want to. So now we took out the plus and we put the minus, so minus 3. Now we have the center, or the center point coordinates. Now our change is 2, r is 2. We are not going to take this yet and create the circle here, but we have the information we need to create the circle here. If you had a graphing calculator and you weren't doing it on your own, you could put this in the graphing calculator, or let's say this, not the change, this into the graphing calculator and it'll graph it. But if you are graphing it, you're going to take this information and graph it right here. All right, so let's do number 2. Let me make it a little closer. All right, here we go. So first thing we're going to do, let's go ahead and just get everything ready for the center. That's your center. If you want notes for that, we have center for your center point. Then the radius will tell you how big the circle is, so we're going to make the change and give us the radius here. All right, so let's go ahead and make the change. So if it's minus 2, or yeah, let's just stick with minus 2, we're going to do plus 2. Okay, if it's plus 1, then we need to take it out. and we need to make it -1. So if you don't remember the opposite of each, let me write it over here. This is what I would do. Go ahead and write plus and minus. Those are our opposites. So if they give you this, then you need to scratch it out and you need to put this. If they give you this, then draw a line through it to make it a plus. All right? So now we need to square root. So go ahead and write that there so you remember. Let's make the change. 6, oops, I keep doing that. Square root of 16 is 4. So that is going to be equals 4. Take that information and we're going to bring it down here. All right, so we have plus 2. Just going to do this, that way you don't have to remember, minus 2. Or I mean minus 1, my bad. And then 4. All right, now let's do the next one. So let's set it up. Let's get everything ready. You always got to get ready to learn. You got to get ready for anything you're going to do next. So now that this is all set up and ready, let's go ahead and make the change. So -1 becomes +1. And then +4, let's just go ahead and get rid of it and make it a -4. Okay, 9. Then get this square root of 9. Square root 9, 3. So that's going to equal 3. Now bring it down, +1, -4, or -4 once we get to the graph. Radius is 3. All right, remember, if I'm going too fast for the video, pause between each one, and you can look at everything carefully and go ahead and finish it down here. All right, last one, number 4. This is an interesting one, so let's go ahead and let's get it ready. Radius equals. Now, remember when we just put x to the second power, that's because there was a 0 in the coordinate. X means, so there's no number. There's 0 number. So what I want you to do is just write 0 here, because there's no numbers here. See how there's a number 3 here, a -3, but there's nothing here. So put 0 for nothing. Okay, now for -3, opposite is +3. So we have 0 plus 3. Now the square root of 14. This is not going to be a whole number. Let's go ahead and do that. So we have enter square root 14, 1, 4. So it's 3.74. So let's just put 3.7, or just round it up to 4. So remember, if it's larger than the number 4, 7 is, then we're going to round up to the whole number and make 3 a 4. All right, so I'm going to put here equals 4. Okay, so now we have 0 because there were 0 numbers. Nothing here but the x. So 0, 0, plus 3, plus 3, and then your radius is 4, radius of 4. All right, so go ahead and do that. What you need to do is go ahead and put your name on it and bring that assignment to me. Thank you.